Education Secretary Bill Bennett. It is great to have you here, sir. I want to put up a map for everyone to just show. This is where anti-Israel protests are happening at top 50 universities across the country. You can see it there on the map. I'm wondering what your thoughts are and what you think President Biden could do and should do at this point.
Yeah, well, it's a rite of passage now for a lot of these students, and of course a lot of these people are not students. The president should condemn it in totally unambiguous terms. He was very wishy-washy yesterday. But the main thing that has to happen is authority has to be asserted on the campuses. It's not enough for the presidents to maintain peace. They need to maintain the order and to assert their authority and say, this is a university. We do not do this here. You people are ignorant. Go to the library, if you're students enrolled here, and read about what happened in the Holocaust. Go to the newspaper rack and read about what happened on October 7th in Israel. That affirmation of authority is what we need. I was involved in this in the 70s, where at Boston University they wouldn't let the Marines on campus. We had to assert that authority. You're not in charge. We are in charge. Good for Bob Kraft. That's a good thing to do. These alums to withhold their support. But you've got to make it plain that the university does not belong to the demonstrators. And last thing, if I can, I hope that when these demonstrators are arrested, they're not just released the next day, as seems to be the case. Otherwise, you're just running an in-and-out system.
Bill, it's great to see you. This has essentially shut down Columbia. I mean, they still had school, but it was online, which is pretty amazing. Wall Street Journal editorial board, the Ivy League's anti-Israel protest meltdown. This crisis in liberal education has been decades in the making. These schools have sown the intolerance their students are demonstrating by putting identity and left-wing politics above the free exchange of ideas. You mentioned Robert Kraft. Here's another soundbite from him. Take a listen.
I never thought I'd see what's going on in America, what's happening right now. When I went to Columbia, it was a place where people listened, were empathetic, had compassion. And now, we have professors who, instead of teaching how to think, that they're trying to tell our young people what they should think.
So it seemed to go from anti-Israel to anti-Semitic pretty quickly.
Yeah, and it seems to be that way in history, doesn't it? And the Jewish people keep telling us that. Now, you make a great point. There's a win here for the protesters, Brett, and what you point out. The University, Columbia, has gone remote. You just have to take your classes remote. You can't go on campus. Again, the president of that university should say, we are open. We are open for business. And anybody who tries to interfere with our students coming on campus will be arrested, and hopefully for a long time. You've got to decide here who's got the authority, who's got the right to do what. And again, education of these people who are students is essential. Go to the library, go to the newspaper rack, find out what happened. Find out when Eisenhower was reviewing the concentration camps and insisted that photos be taken. People said, why? He said, well, people will deny this ever happened. Critics said, no, everyone will know. He said, no, there will come a time when people will forget this. These idiots out there in the street are forgetting it. We cannot let students whose parents are paying $66,000 a year for this education to get a miseducation.
Last question from me is, do you think it is the right thing to do at this point for the current president of Columbia to resign?
Yeah, well, yes, either to find the, what's the word I'm looking for, cojones, the strength to affirm the authority of her office and to say, I've thought about it, and look, I'm the president of a university. We work here, we study here, our students come here. If she can't do that and clear the decks and clear the yard of those tents, then someone else should step in. Someone who's got a clear sense of what needs to be done.
Bill Bennett,
thank you very much.
Thank you so much.